These regulations are about perpetuating a deep injustice, the division of our country into two by 27 other countries who have chosen to disrespect the territorial integrity of the UK, not just by claiming a right to make some of our laws, but also through the imposition of an international border, customs and SPS border. And this disenfranchises 1.9 United Kingdom citizens in relation to not just one area of law, but to some 300 areas of laws. And I just cannot understand how any government, past or present, could have supported, who supposedly support the Union, could have gone along with this. We know that there is another way of managing the border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland that does not involve disenfranchising anyone and which respects the territorial integrity of the United Kingdom. And that, of course, is mutual enforcement. Surely our newly elected government, rather than parroting the same old line of the previous government, should insist upon that solution be discussed now in all their relationships reset, which I know is the great new word about what is going to happen with the European Union. I have no doubt that the EU would respond by saying that it prefers the Irish Sea border. I wonder why. That way of managing the border over mutual enforcement. But as the Honourable Member for North Antrim, Jim Allister, wrote in the Telegraph after his mutual enforcement bill had its first reading last week in the Commons, if the EU continues to insist on the Irish Sea border as if mutual enforcement did not exist, they will have to own the consequences of needlessly being the instigator of the largest disenfranchisement operation in the Western world in violation of the Belfast Agreement.
The situation, in my mind, disrespects the territorial integrity of the United Kingdom and violates the Belfast Agreement, which this government and this House proclaims to hold so dear to their hearts. Rather than removing the Irish Sea border, these regulations help to cement it in. I am pleased that all Unionist representatives in the other House are supporting the mutual enforcement bill to be debated on the 6th of December. Surely it will not be possible to ignore the call for mutual enforcement for very much longer. My Lords, to conclude, there is a way forward, and I know that my party leader and other Unionist colleagues are willing to participate in charting a democratic way forward to restore our rightful place within this United Kingdom. But I assure this House, the Windsor Framework and the outworkings of the Northern Ireland Protocol is not that answer. I support the Noble Irelanders motion.
Now, my noble Lords, to conclude, there are only three possible destinations, I think, from where we are now. One is the one I've just described, which is the gradual further dissolution of UK sovereignty in important areas of the economy. The second is an attempt to make the unworkable work, to attempt constantly to offset the complexities and the nonsensicalities of the Windsor Framework by more and more complex legislation with more and more exemptions and special treatment, creating a bigger regulatory burden and in practice separating out Northern Ireland still further. And if we go down this road, we will be dealing with more and more unsatisfactory pieces of legislation like this one. The third route is the one that one day I think must be taken, and it's the one that's been referred to already, which is the route of mutual enforcement for the Windsor Framework to be ditched and for UK laws to apply in Northern Ireland as they do anywhere else in this country. And in my view, that's, of course, the right way forward. I don't think the current arrangements can or will stand. They're over-complex, they create too many political anomalies, they simply won't work over time, and it's only a matter of time before that becomes clear. And I think one day we will sweep away the Windsor Framework and make this a properly united kingdom once again. So including, I asked the Minister, which of these three paths does she believe the government is now on? What is the approach of this government to the Windsor Framework, and what's the direction of travel?
United Kingdom. Finally, my Lords, I warmly welcome the arrival of the Mutual Enforcement Bill, which I see now has been propelled to second position in another place. Unlike the regulations before us today, this bill provides a sensible solution. The bill replaces the Irish Sea border, which violates the Belfast Agreement, in disenfranchising the people of Northern Ireland with mutual enforcement, which disenfranchises no one, and it restores the territorial integrity of the United Kingdom without requiring border infrastructure on the Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland border. And finally, my Lords, we are informed that the protocol would bring prosperity and untold opportunities for business. To date, I believe there is very little evidence to show this. I support the motion.